it's a big role confusion. So I would say at the beginning of every project, please clarify roles very, very clearly. Otherwise, role bleeding will happen. This is an example of the current hierarchy. People report up the chain. If you think about it from a servant leadership perspective, this is how you would start seeing your organization. And I know organizations that are moving to this. I'm happy to say I'm working with one right now, and this is exactly the model that they understand. The CIO, or the top guy, reports to everyone else. They are accountable for everybody else's success. They are accountable for all these people growing and getting better and learning. Do you guys kind of see it? And so don't be happy if you get more people that report to you. That's more responsibility. You report to the people that's why you're here. You are here to serve these people. You are not here to control and command them. You are here to serve them, grow them, and build them up. If you guys fill out your evaluations, and at the bottom you say that there's you asked me to send you a PDF copy of this, I will, and you'll be able to kind of look at some of these traits that you need to be a servant leader. It's beyond our time to go through this here, but this is very, very important. This is a servant leader house. I really particularly want you to look at the bottom, because if you don't have these bottom traits as a servant leader, you will be command and control, and people will see it. Real world servant leadership.
We have to give up control. It's one of the hardest things I had to learn when I first started our Agile project. I was strong control. I was the project manager. I was the one that was responsible if the project failed. And so what I had to do, Sally coaching me, is be a servant leader. It was hard. It was probably the most difficult 30 days that I went through. What I did was personally said, okay, I'm going to empower the team. Sometimes you have to let the team fail. They have to make their own decisions. Not big failures, but little learning lessons. And what I did was, every meeting we brought in the roles. Sponsor, product owner, here's your roles. You're supposed to tell us what requirements are. And again, several meetings, sometimes daily, we have to say, tell us what you want us to do. What are the requirements? Team, we have to figure out how to do that. What's the technology? What's the best architect? And then my role is basically facilitation, making sure they follow the process. So bring the rules with you to the meetings if you have to reaffirm this is what we're supposed to be doing at this meeting, at this week of development. That helped a lot. Serve the team, let them know you care about them. When they have an issue, listen to them. We had some issues with new technology. We didn't have the right knowledge. So what we had to do is get some mentors. We actually brought the vendor in. They helped us learn the software. With Agile, what you'll find out very quickly is you will fail early in Agile, and that's a good thing. In fact, you will find impediments, you'll find issues very quickly because they tend to rise very quickly because you cannot move forward. So Agile will show you where your impediments are. We had a huge impediment, brought in some mentors, had some additional training, and within 2 months we have learned that new technology, that new tool, and we'll be able to get back on track. Lead by example. Be open, let them know, say, what can I do for you? I had a tendency to say, how are you doing on that line of code? How are you doing on that requirement? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Now what I do is, how can I help you with that requirement? Is there anything you need that would facilitate you getting that testing done? I ask a lot of questions. I empower them. Again, it takes a while, and when you're under stress, you'll find yourself kind of reverting back to that command and control. Don't beat yourself up. It's just your normal behavior. But again, try to remember, how can I help them? How can I serve them? Provide a vision every iteration, what we're trying to accomplish. We provide feedback at the end of our 4-week iterations. We have a retrospective where we say, what did we do well, and what can we improve upon? And we take action on those items that we can actually improve upon. Sometimes they're my actions, sometimes they're the team, the sponsors. Everybody takes an action and say, okay, we want to improve. And we check back and make sure we did improve. Empower the team to do more. We have a lot of COBOL at Mutual. We're trying to get rid of it. I know you guys don't have any of that, but a lot of old mainframe stuff. And we have some of our team members who saying, well, we tried that once. It failed. It was 10 years ago, but we tried that and it failed. So we have something that we call the art of possible. I'm sure I stole that from you.
Okay, actually, I stole it from Gene statements.
Okay, Gene Tabaka is the one that was stolen from. Sorry, Gene. I'll give her credit. But think of what is possible. We may not be able to meet this requirement exactly like our product owner wants us to, but what can we do? What is possible? And that's really, it frees people up to stop thinking of the negative, but more like what is possible? What are the options? My business folks love options. If they can go to Burger King and get it their way and have the pickles but no mustard, whatever, they're used to that mentality. It's kind of the American way. They want that with IT projects as well. They want options. I want the low-end option and you give me the pros and cons and the cost, or I want the high-end option, but they love having options. So we constantly are saying, here's your requirement, we can do it 2 or 3 different ways, and we tell them the pros and cons, and then they choose. The product owner gets to choose. Again, we're determining the how. We're still doing the technology, but we're giving them options. They just feel so empowered when we do that. Embrace change. It's always going to happen. I built a house. I'm building a kitchen right now, and things are changing. I'm changing my mind, and the contractor is very forgiving, and he's realizing he's changing. I will have changes. Same thing with technical projects. We never know. We never have all the requirements. So we just have to expect changes and try to be flexible. That's something I had to learn. I like everything documented up front, what I'm going to do, but I realized it's not realistic for that to happen. Oh, my favorite one at the very end. We talked about documentation. I always ask the question, whatever I do, be it a document, an artifact, a process, a team meeting, anything, does this add value to the business? If it doesn't, then maybe we don't need this meeting. Maybe we don't need this document, or maybe a shorter version. So I'm constantly saying, does this add value? And if it doesn't, don't do it, folks. Because, at Mutual we have a long list of, I think there's like 23 documents we're supposed to do just for our planning phase. We've now gotten it down to like 4 because we found the other ones don't always add value. So we consolidated and eliminated a lot of them. So please feel empowered to ask your team, ask yourself, does this add value?
Just a few notes on facilitator. I stand right next to you and give it right back to you. You'll find yourself going into a lot of meetings where people from different roles are going to be in that meeting. I'm talking about business people, IT folks, opinionated people, right? Strong personalities. Have you guys had those at all? Do you have any of those strong personalities, my way or the highway people that come to any of your meetings? Okay, that's what I thought. I cannot tell you how much dysfunction we have in meetings. I guess raise your hand if you agree that a ton of meetings are dysfunctional. Here's what I mean by dysfunctional. They don't produce value. People speak too loud. You never get any output out of it. You have to schedule a meeting after the meeting. I cannot emphasize to you how basic yet critical of a skill this is. I want you to know that most of us project managers spend 70% of our time in meetings. Would that be accurate at all? Am I way off in saying 70%? I'll go with 60. I'll go with 50. Hey, you guys, 50% of our time. That means 50% of our company's budget for us and for those team members is all going towards dysfunctional meetings. You need to learn how to facilitate. Facilitate meetings means you know how to get a group of people that have very different personalities, that speak in gibberish to each other, business versus IT, right? They're talking business, they're talking about SOA and JMS this and Java that, right? You have to know how to bridge the gap and get people to their goal. So how did you guys do this at Mutual?
We have a lot of meetings with Agile. We have daily meetings. Every day we have a 15-minute stand-up. Every 4 weeks we have 8-hour planning meeting on what we're going to actually produce, working software. We also have lesson learning meetings. So we have a lot of meetings, but we have a lot of work to do, just like you all do.